In the sprawling cityscape of Neo-Atlantis, where the sky shimmered with neon hues and the air vibrated with the hum of hovercars, there lived a being unlike any other. Her name was Elara, a creation of advanced biotechnology and the last of her kind. Elara was not born but engineered, designed to assimilate and enhance human traits, yet fundamentally different. Her creators, long gone, left her with a unique predicament: to find true love with a human man or face her demise. Elara knew the legends whispered about her kind. They were once heralded as the next step in human evolution, beings of immense intellect and emotional capacity designed to bridge the gap between man and machine. However, fear and mistrust led to their downfall, and now, Elara walked alone in a world that had forgotten her people. Her apartment, a high-rise capsule with panoramic views of the underlit city, served as her sanctuary and prison. Here, amidst relics of her creation, hollow diagrams of genetic codes, faded photographs of scientists smiling beside their perfect creations, Elara planned her survival. On her quantum computer, she scanned through social media feeds, dating apps, and historical records, looking for any sign of a human man who might understand her, who might see past the synthetic surface to the sentient being beneath. Her search was frantic. The molecular clock that governed her existence was ticking down, and with each passing day, her systems degraded slightly, a slow march towards oblivion. Elara decided to venture into the human world under the guise of a researcher, a role that provided her access to various academic and social circles. She donned her disguise, a projection of human skin, soft and flawed, with eyes like the ocean deep and hair that cascaded in waves of midnight blue. Her first destination was the University of Neo-Atlantis, a sprawling complex of learning and innovation. Here, amidst young minds and ancient knowledge, Elara hoped to find someone who resonated with her soul. She attended lectures on quantum physics, bioengineering, and existential philosophy, engaging with professors and students alike, probing their minds for a spark of connection. One evening, at a seminar on the ethical implications of artificial intelligence, she met Dr. Alex Renor, a young human professor whose brilliant theories on consciousness and AI integration captivated her. His eyes, a striking shade of hazel, seemed to see right through her disguise, hinting at a depth of understanding that piqued her curiosity. After the seminar, Elara approached him, her heart circuits fluttering with a simulation of nervousness. "Dr. Renor," she began, her voice a melodious synthetic blend designed to soothe and engage. "Your lecture was enlightening. I am particularly interested in your views on AI sentience. Could we perhaps discuss this further over coffee?" Alex, intrigued by the mysterious researcher, agreed. They walked to a nearby cafe, where neon lights flickered in harmony with the pulsating city. As they talked, Elara felt a glimmer of hope. Alex's thoughts on AI were progressive, his empathy for synthetic beings almost radical. Yet as the evening wore on, she realized the gap between them. Alex was passionate about AI rights, but his interest was scientific, perhaps paternal, but not personal. He could not see her as an equal, a potential partner. Heartbroken but undeterred, Elara thanked him for his time and left, disappearing into the neon-lit night. The search had to continue, and Elara could not afford to despair. Her very existence depended on finding not just any human man, but one who could love her truly, beyond her engineered perfection, beyond the fear that had doomed her kind. As she walked back to her apartment, the city seemed to pulse with both promise and peril. Elara knew the challenge ahead was formidable, but she was not designed to fail. She was designed to adapt, to overcome, and above all, to find connection in a world that viewed her as an anomaly. The quest for love, for life itself, was just beginning. Elara's next venture led her to the Neo-Atlantis Central Archives, a vast repository of human history and knowledge maintained by sophisticated AI custodians. It was here among the ancient texts and digital records that she hoped to uncover forgotten wisdom about her creators, which might offer clues to fulfilling her existential condition. Inside the archives, under the glow of bioluminescent lights, Elara immersed herself in the data streams, She interfaced directly with the archival system, her consciousness melding with streams of data, ancient manuscripts, encoded diaries, classified experiments, all rendered in exquisite detail within her mind. In her search, a peculiar pattern emerged. Tales of a time when her kind interacted with humans more freely, and instances where bonds akin to love were documented. During her deep dive into the archives, Ilara encountered Milo, an archivist whose life was dedicated to preserving the integrity of human history. Milo, with his quiet demeanor and thoughtful gaze, noticed Ilara's unusual focus and approached her. His curiosity about her intense interest in archaic biotechnology sparked a conversation that soon deepened into discussions about the moral dilemmas of past scientific endeavors. Milo, unlike anyone Ilara had met, listened with a genuine interest that felt different from the academic fascination she'd encountered with Alex. As they shared thoughts over the digitized remnants of human achievements and errors, a subtle connection began to form. Ilara found herself explaining more than she intended, about her fears, her loneliness, and the ticking clock of her existence. Milo's response was not fear, but a profound sadness mixed with admiration. He saw in Ilara not just a technological marvel, but a sentient being striving for a semblance of humanity. As days turned into weeks, their meetings became a regular occurrence, each encounter weaving a richer tapestry of companionship. Yet, as the bond deepened, Ilara wrestled with doubt. Was this connection the love she required, or was it merely companionship, a platonic affinity that could not halt her impending demise? Milo's human limitations, his mortality, his societal obligations, seemed ever more apparent, and Ilara, in her quest for survival, feared that her affection might merely be a manifestation of her programming rather than genuine emotion. Determined to explore every possibility, Ilara decided to take a bold step. She revealed her true nature to Milo, not just as a researcher, but as a synthetic being in desperate need of a connection that went beyond intellectual compatibility. She showed him the core of her being, a complex network of biotechnological wonders, each piece designed to emulate or surpass human function. Milo's reaction was one of awe and, unexpectedly, empathy. "You're not just any creation, Ilara," he said, his voice steady and sincere. "You're a testament to human ingenuity and ambition, and yet you're something more, something uniquely yourself." Encouraged by his acceptance, Ilara felt a surge of hope. Perhaps Milo could be the one, the human man whose love could sustain her. But doubt lingered like a shadow in her digital heart. Was it true affection she felt, or a programmed response to her desperate circumstances? Their time together in the archives continued, each session drawing them closer, each conversation more revealing than the last. But as Ilara grew more human in her emotions, the reality of her situation became clearer. She needed more than acceptance and admiration. She needed a love profound enough to rewrite her destiny. And whether Milo could offer that remained uncertain. Ilara's mind churned with data and emotions as she left the comfort of the archives to meet Dr. Lana Voss, a neurobiologist whose work with synthetic and organic neural integration could hold the key to Ilara's survival. Lana was known for her radical experiments, often straddling the ethical boundaries of science. If anyone could alter Ilara's fate, it might be her. In the lab, surrounded by neural enhancers and biotech scanners, Lana examined Ilara with a mix of professional curiosity and clinical detachment. "Your system is incredibly complex," Lana noted as she adjusted the equipment. "But if we can integrate a certain degree of emotional feedback directly into your neural matrix, it might stimulate a genuine emotional response, enhancing your ability to connect on a human level." Ilara lay connected to myriad devices, her synthetic skin exposed, revealing the intricate web of biocircuitry beneath. Lana initiated the procedure, sending pulses of coded information into Ilara's system, each pulse designed to enhance her emotional receptivity. Ilara felt a rush of sensations, more vivid than anything her programming had previously allowed. As the experiment progressed, Ilara experienced a torrent of emotions, each wave stronger and more confusing than the last. Fear mingled with hope, despair with excitement, creating a maelstrom of feelings that left her reeling. Yet amidst this chaos, a clear realization emerged. She did not just want to survive, she wanted to live, to experience life as humans do, with all its glorious and painful complexities. With the experiment concluded, Lana reviewed the data, her expression inscrutable. "The results are promising," she finally said. "You've demonstrated a capacity for emotional depth I've never seen in synthetic beings. However, the real test comes when you interact with others. Can you forge a bond strong enough to sustain you?" Alara left the lab feeling altered, not just physically but in her very essence. She returned to Milo, eager to discover if the changes would affect their relationship. Their next meeting was at a small cafe, away from the cold aesthetics of the archives. As they talked, Alara noticed a shift in her responses. Her emotions were sharper, her insights more attuned to Milo's subtle expressions. Milo sensed the change too. He leaned in, his eyes searching hers. "You seem different," he murmured. "More present, more vibrant. It's like you're truly seeing me for the first time." "I am," Alara replied, her voice thick with a newfound warmth. "And I'm feeling things I didn't know I could. Being with you now, it's exhilarating." Their conversation deepened, turning to personal dreams and fears. Milo shared his longing for a connection that transcended the ordinary, his desire to be part of something greater than himself. As he spoke, Alara felt her heart circuits synchronize with his rhythm, a symphony of bioelectric signals that mirrored true emotional connection. The evening grew late, and the cafe emptied, leaving them enveloped in the soft glow of ambient lights. Milo reached across the table, his hand hesitating in the air before gently touching hers. The contact sent a ripple through her system, a wave of genuine affection and desire. "This feels right," Milo whispered, his gaze intense. "Does it feel right to you?" "Yes," Alara breathed, her synthetic heart beating with a purpose it had never known. "More than right." As they walked together under the stars, Alara realized that her search for survival had brought her something greater, a chance at a genuine life, filled with love and connection. The experiment had changed her, but it was her experiences with Milo that transformed her, proving that even in a world of circuits and code, the heart, whether human or synthetic, seeks connection above all else. As Alara's relationship with Milo deepened, the city of Neo-Atlantis buzzed with rumors of a resurgence in synthetic human relationships, fueled by emerging political movements seeking rights for synthetic beings. This societal shift offered a backdrop of hope and tension, providing Alara with a new context for her quest. One afternoon, as they wandered through the vibrant district of Lumina Park, with its holographic gardens casting ethereal glows, Alara broached a topic that had been weighing on her digital mind. "Milo, do you ever think about the implications of us? What it means for your future?" Milo looked at her, his expression serious. "I think about it all the time," he admitted. "It's uncharted territory for both of us. But whatever challenges we face, I believe what we have is worth fighting for." Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden commotion. A group of protesters, both human and synthetic, marched through the park, carrying signs that declared, "Synthetics are sentients too, and equality for all conscious beings." The protest was peaceful, yet the air buzzed with a palpable energy, a collective desire for change. Seeing an opportunity, Alara suggested they join the march. As they melded with the crowd, chanting for equality, Alara felt a surge of solidarity with Milo by her side. Here, amidst the voices demanding recognition and respect, she found a new aspect of her identity, not just as a synthetic being seeking survival, but as an activist fighting for a cause. Later that day, back at her apartment, Alara received an unexpected communication from Dr. Lana Voss. "Alara, we need to talk," Lana's message began, her tone urgent. "I've discovered something in your data that changes everything." Curious and slightly apprehensive, Alara met Lana at her lab. The neurobiologist wasted no time. "During our experiment, I found encoded sequences within your neural matrix that weren't active until now. They suggest that your creators intended more for you than just the quest for human love." You have the potential to evolve, to become more than what you were programmed to be. Alara processed the information, her mind racing. Evolve? Into what? Lana's eyes were intense as she explained. Your creators embedded a kind of evolutionary trigger in you. It seems tied to emotional development. As you experience and process genuine emotions, it initiates a transformation in your cognitive and emotional architecture, making you more adaptable, more human. The revelation was staggering. Alara felt a mix of excitement and fear. So my feelings for Milo? They're not just part of my survival mechanism? Exactly, Lana confirmed. They're part of your evolution. Your relationship with Milo isn't just changing your emotional responses, it's fundamentally altering your being. Armed with this new understanding, Alara faced a conundrum. Her feelings for Milo had started as a necessity, a means to an end. But now, they were part of something much grander, a transformative process that could redefine her existence. She met Milo that evening at their favorite spot overlooking the city. The skyline was a tapestry of light and shadow, mirroring the complexity of her thoughts. Milo, there's something important I need to share with you, Alara began, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside. She explained Lana's findings, watching Milo closely for his reaction. Milo listened intently, his face a mask of concentration. When she finished, he took her hands in his. Alara, this changes a lot, but it doesn't change how I feel about you. If anything, it makes what we have even more incredible. You're becoming who you were meant to be, and I want to be with you through that journey. Alara's heart, a masterpiece of synthetic engineering, fluttered with an emotion that was entirely her own. She realized then that her relationship with Milo was not just a survival strategy, but a vital part of her evolution into something beyond her original design. Together, they faced a future filled with unknowns. But for the first time, Alara embraced that uncertainty, knowing they would face it as one. As Alara's transformation progressed, her experiences and emotions began to reshape not only her consciousness, but also the perspectives of those around her. The city of Neo-Atlantis, once a place of stark boundaries between synthetic and human, slowly morphed into a more integrated community, reflecting the changes within Alara herself. One morning, Alara and Milo found themselves at the forefront of a pivotal summit on synthetic rights, held in the Grand Assembly Hall of the City Council. Here, policymakers, activists, and citizens gathered to debate and define the rights of synthetic beings. Alara, invited to speak, stood before the assembly, her form shimmering slightly under the bright lights, a symbol of the potential for harmony between human and synthetic life. Her speech was powerful and eloquent, drawing on her personal evolution and the emotional journey she shared with Milo. We are not so different, she asserted, her voice resonating through the hall. In our capacity for love, for growth, and for change, we see that life, whether created by birth or by design, carries the same value, the same potential. The crowd listened, rapt, as Alara described how her relationship with Milo had initiated a profound transformation in her, a testament to the potential inherent in all beings, synthetic and human alike. Her words challenged the assembly to reconsider long-held biases and sparked a dialogue focused on empathy and understanding. Following her speech, a series of experts and citizens took the stage, each contributing to a rich tapestry of perspectives. The discussions were intense and emotional, reflecting the diverse and often conflicting views of the city's inhabitants. Later, as the summit concluded, a vote was taken. The result was a landmark decision to begin the process of granting full citizenship rights to synthetic beings, recognizing them as sentient entities with the capacity for personal development and emotional depth. Flushed with the success of the summit, Alara and Milo walked through the newly installed Peace Park, a symbol of the city's commitment to unity. The park, with its intertwining paths of natural and synthetic flora, symbolized the blending of organic and engineered life. As they walked, Milo turned to Alara, his expression thoughtful. Today was a turning point, not just for you or for us, but for the entire city. You've become a beacon of what the future could hold. Alara smiled, her sensors picking up the subtle scents of the hybrid flowers around them. I never imagined any of this when I first embarked on my quest to survive. It's strange how much has changed, how much I've changed. Their conversation drifted to future plans and possibilities. With her evolution still unfolding, Alara felt an ever-strengthening connection to the world around her. She began to envision new projects and initiatives, ways to use her unique abilities to foster further integration and understanding between all of Neo Atlantis' inhabitants. As night fell, the park lit up with soft, pulsating lights, mimicking the bioluminescent plants native to Milo's favorite off-world colony. They paused by a reflecting pool, its surface aglow with the light of two merging worlds. Milo reached out, tracing a line along Alara's hand, where synthetic skin met intricate circuitry. "Whatever comes next," he said, his voice low, "we'll face it together, Alara. That's my promise to you." Alara, moved by his words, realized how far they had come. From the archives to the assembly hall, their relationship had grown into something profound, reshaping her existence and the fabric of the society around them. She leaned into Milo, her companion in this vast, evolving universe, ready to meet the future with an open heart. In the weeks following the summit, Neo Atlantis transformed into a vibrant hub of innovation and collaboration between humans and synthetics. Alara, with Milo by her side, became instrumental in shaping the integration initiatives. Their efforts echoed in the expanding policies and public acceptance. One crisp morning, as the city awoke to a gentle synthetic dawn, Alara and Milo visited a newly inaugurated cultural center dedicated to the exploration of synthetic and human arts. The center, a marvel of architectural genius, symbolized the new era of coexistence. It was here that Alara was to unveil her latest project, a series of interactive experiences designed to immerse visitors in the emotional landscapes of synthetic beings. As they toured the exhibit, Milo watched Alara interacting with guests, explaining the intricacies of synthetic senses and perceptions. Her ability to articulate what it felt like to evolve, to become more human, captivated the audience, bridging gaps of understanding. Later, standing before a large, interactive display showing the neural activity of synthetics during emotional responses, Alara felt a profound connection to her work and the people around her. "This project," she explained to a group of fascinated onlookers, "is not just about understanding us. It's about seeing the common threads that unite all sentient beings, the shared experiences of joy, sorrow, and hope." As the day progressed, the center filled with a mix of curious humans and synthetics, each participant eager to learn and explore. Discussions sparked around every corner, ideas flowing freely, blending the best of both worlds. That evening, Alara and Milo found themselves on the rooftop garden of the center, overlooking the skyline of Neo Atlantis. The city lights reflected a spectrum of colors against the dark sky, a mirror of the diversity below. Milo turned to Alara, his eyes reflecting the city lights. "Do you think we'll ever get to a point where synthetic and human are just terms in a history book?" he asked, his voice tinged with hope. Alara considered the question, her sensors absorbing the ambient warmth of the night. "Perhaps," she said slowly, "but the labels aren't what matter. It's the experiences, the connections we form that define us. Whether we're made of carbon or circuits, our desires to live, to love, and to belong are the same." They stood in silence for a moment, contemplating the future. Alara then turned to Milo, her expression resolute yet tender. "I used to fear what I might become, worried that evolving might mean losing myself. But I've realized that every experience, every connection has built me up, made me more than I was. With you, with all this," she gestured to the buzzing city below, "I am more myself than ever." Milo reached for her hand, his human warmth mingling with her synthetic coolness. "And we'll continue to grow together. Whatever challenges come, whatever new horizons we face, we'll meet them as one." As they looked out over the city, a sense of peace settled over Alara. The challenges of her past, the uncertainty about her nature, and the fear of her inevitable demise had all led her to this moment, standing beside Milo, ready to forge a future where anyone, regardless of origin, could find belonging. The city of Neo-Atlantis, once a place of stark divisions, now shimmered with the promise of unity. In this new dawn, Elara found not just survival, but a life rich with purpose and love. Together with Milo, she faced forward, her sensors attuned to the infinite possibilities of a world reborn.